Hey, so it's Tina Forsyth here again, continuing our discussion about leveraged revenue streams. And what I want to talk about here today is why you may not want to create info products. See, in the last video, we talked about the 3 strategies for creating leveraged revenue streams, how you can take what you know, what you do already, and offer it in different ways, right? There's 3 different strategies you can do around that. And today, what I want to touch on is what I consider to be sort of a myth out there. And that I want you to be really aware of what this is. And that quite often I have people coming to me saying, Tina, I want to create an info product, right? I've been told that, I get what this is. And people think in theory an info product it's like the passive revenue myth. I call it a myth very purposely because quite often, there's this myth out there that you can create an info product, you can write a book, or you can do a series of some kind, multimedia kit, workbooks, etc., etc. And people will come and buy them forever and ever, and you can go sit on the beach and watch the dollars roll in on your iPhone or something. But the reality is that for most people, info products are not big money makers. And in some cases, info products don't make money at all. And you may or may not know this, right? I mean, info products can certainly play a part in your business, but I want you to be aware of a few key things before you kind of go down this path of looking at, hey, I want to create an info product. First and foremost, what do your clients want from you? Because the reality is, especially if you're an implementer of some kind, if you're a web designer, if you're a copywriter, people want to hire you. Chances are people want to hire you to do the work, right? They don't want to buy a program from you that says how to be a web designer or how to be a copywriter. I'm not going to say there's obviously programs out there that can teach you that, but I'm talking about your current clients right now. What do they really want and need from you, right? If they want and need someone to do the work, if you're a virtual assistant or an OBM or a social media specialist or whatever that might be, right? If you're a doer, if they need to hire somebody to do the work, then look at something like cloning yourself, using that strategy, building your team, having more people who can do the work. Don't look to create an info product. Because if you create an info product and your current market doesn't want it, one of 2 things is going to happen. You either have to go find a new market to buy that info product, which can mean almost an entire business model shift in some cases, or you're going to have poured all your time and energy and heart and soul into creating something and have it not sell, right? And I'm telling you, that is just that's very disheartening for people. I mean, not only is it a waste of money and all of that, it can be expensive, but it's also very disheartening to pour your heart and soul into something thinking that people want it only to find out that they don't, right? So before you go down that route, consider for yourself, what is it that people really want, right? Also too, what do you want is the other side of this question, because if you don't like writing, if you don't like teaching, if you don't like, all of that kind of stuff, you're going to have a hard time creating an info product. And, especially things like writing a book, people will ask me, how do I write my books so quickly and get them done? And, The Entrepreneur's Trap, which is coming out in November, which I essentially wrote in like the summer, got it finished pretty quickly, right? Bottom line is, you better like writing to start with. If you want to record and create audio series and things like that, you better like speaking and teaching and all of that. Just know what you enjoy doing yourself. Thinking of one of the examples that's in my book, where one of the gals shares her story of, falling into that, what I call the trap of like, hey, everybody else is doing it, I should too, kind of thing, right? I see this person doing this, and that means I should, or I think I should head in that direction, etc. If you're a coach, for example, and you see other people out there doing their year-long coaching programs and mentorships and masterminds and all of that, one of the stories shared in my book is someone who did that only to realize she didn't want to. She didn't actually enjoy working with people in that way. She didn't enjoy being, having a year-long program and such. She likes to work and run her business differently and offer different things, right? Based on what she truly wants. So you want to consider what it is that you actually really enjoy and want to do as well. If you create an info product, your job becomes a marketer. You will continually be having to market that info product over and over again, right? That's essentially what your job is. And really too, keeping in mind that your fastest path to cash is always going to be an active revenue stream of some kind. So, for most businesses, of course, cash flow is always a consideration and everything, but depending where you're at in your business, if you need a quick injection of cash, if you need, you have bigger things coming up and you need more money and all of that other kind of stuff, an info product is probably not going to be your best route. It takes a while to set it up. Setting up a membership site, woohoo, that takes time. Anybody who's been through it, believe me, you know it's going to take time, right? Creating multimedia things or whatever that might be. Those kind of things take time to do. And so from a fast cash perspective, you want to be able to see, what can I offer to clients? Can I work one-on-one, do packages, various quick things that essentially will probably require time and energy of you or your team to deliver. Those are always going to be your fastest path to cash, right? An info product is not a fast path to cash. It has a very good place within all of this, of course, too, which we can talk about in another video. But, just keeping that in mind for yourself. If you feel like you should, or you've had this idea of creating an info product on your plate, I hope this has helped give you some clarity as to whether or not that might be your next best option here. So in our final video, in the third video here in this series talking about leveraged revenue streams, we're going to talk about how to get started to create your next leveraged revenue stream. I want to give you a little bit of a step-by-step process, if you will, to help you shift towards, regardless of whatever you're going to create, regardless of what your next step is. I want to talk you through and give you some tips for how to take steps towards that as well. So until then, it's Tina Forsyth here. Take care. Bye now.